There's no doubt that buying real estate is one of the largest investments one can make in their lifetime. Many persons dream about buying a house, but can this dream turn into a nightmare? What are the legal steps necessary when buying? Are there any hidden costs? What questions should one ask? It is necessary when buying to do due diligence. Today's episode, we would learn what are the necessary steps to take when buying property.
Surprise! Surprise!
Surprise what?
See that? That's what I got you.
You have to be joking.
No.
You wouldn't buy that for your wife, you buy that for me?
No, but it's
back
a
of Gold
place.
Victor?
Listen, this area has a lot of potential.
To put me here?
No, come on.
You had to be joking. Oh my God, and you stuck like me. How my clients going to find me? It have taxi in the back here? Oh my God, no. I can't do this. You better leave me rented.
But
come on.
Yeah, you better leave me rented.
But this has a lot of potential, my dear.
Hello, no.
I never...
Jesus.
Excuse me. Who are you?
Who are you? Who is she?
But I don't know. I've never seen this.
I am the landowner.
You don't know
You are
she and
what?
she don't know you.
The landowner.
My name is with a double S.
No. I'm afraid that you have this all wrong.
I don't have this mistake, and I paid on my land. This is my land.
Hello, ma'am. I purchased this land. I have a deed for it. Do you have one?
I have a receipt
Oh,
showing I pay my money.
That's
My hard work
I'm not
money.
even interested, Roll. I'm not even interested in land.
No.
She only could keep that land.
Listen. Let me just say to you. So, let's get this straight. What I have for this property is a deed. Meaning that I own this property.
I don't know about that. I know I pay my money. I get my receipt. This is my land. You put them bricks there?
Well, let me...
That is your bricks?
Absolutely.
I don't understand this.
Absolutely. So let me just say to you, we don't have to extend this beyond this conversation. This can be settled very easily. You treat with my lawyer. I'll give you my lawyer's number. You call my lawyer.
Ha! Your lawyer? You'll talk to my lawyer.
Madam, I purchased this piece of property under the RPO Act. And as such, it does not fall under the common law. And I have a deed for it.
What RPO and ting. You trying to confuse my brain with? Me know about all them things. You understand? And common law, maybe a hoochie common law. But I pay for that land, and that's my land. That's as much as I know.
Well, this seems to be really getting out of hand. You understand? Because as far as I'm concerned, the RPO Act under which I purchased this does not really require me to, in fact, do a title search. And that's the only thing that I did not do. But this property is mine as of now. And I need you to just understand that. Just understand that. Right? It is freehold property that I have an entitlement to by way of the deed that I have.
I own that property and it wasn't for free. I pay my money. That is mine.
In situations like these, in order to avoid them, it is always advisable before you start a process to get a lawyer. In Trinidad and Tobago is a dual law, meaning two systems of law that operate for purchasing land. One being the RPO or the Real Property Ordinance, so some say Real Property Act, that falls under the Torrance system. And then there is the old law, as he was talking about, which is the Old English Common Law. Most lands in Trinidad and Tobago, unfortunately, is still under the old law or the common law. And as he was indicating to her, with the RPO, there's no need to do a title search, because with the RPO, all the documents are listed on that certificate of title. However, you also heard him saying that the land is freehold. What does that mean? Land could be either freehold or leasehold. With freehold, it is absolute. You are in total ownership and possession of that parcel of land. It is perpetual, forever, indefinite. However, with leasehold, the quantity or the duration of time is on the terms. It can sometimes range from 199 to 999 years. These are all imperative questions that one must ask when purchasing a property.
So what we have here is a situation where the vendor on this property in fact sold me or did a transaction with me, and we both agreed on how it was going to be done because I needed to save some money on stamp duties.
Wait. Vendor? I am buying nothing from no vendor. Nobody had decided the road and get nothing. This man is a businessman. I went to him to do things proper. But like this man is a fraud.
In legal terminology, there is a vendor and the purchaser. So when one say the vendor, it refers to the person that is selling a property. And when they say the purchaser, it refers to the person that is buying a property. And then there is the stamp duty. Stamp duty really refers to taxes that we pay on land or taxes on property. In this case, taxes on land. So as this gentleman was saying, he tried to forfeit stamp duty. In Trinidad and Tobago, if a property, a piece of land, a parcel of land is $450,000, you are exempted from paying any stamp duty. That means you pay zero, nothing. However, for every dollar for the next $200,000, you pay 2%. And for every dollar on the following 200,000, you pay 5%. And anything, if you're doing the maths with me, anything above 850,000 TT dollars, you pay 7%. This is not the same for a parcel of land with a dwelling property. For every $850,000, a parcel of land with a dwelling house, you pay absolutely nothing.
Well, ma'am, I was defrauded. My family, everybody put up money to help me buy this land, and I just need to understand what happened.
Well, Ms. John, the first question that I have to ask you is, did you seek legal advice before you purchased the land?
Well, no.
Okay, Ms. John, so that we could correct this and that in future you wouldn't have this happening to you, I'd just like to go through the steps with you in purchasing land and moving forward. So the first thing that you should ever do when you're purchasing land is to seek legal advice. The attorney that you go to will guide you through the process and actually have safeguards in place to prevent this from happening to you. So when you go to the attorney's office, they would require certain things from you. The first thing is 2 forms of identification. The second thing is a source of funds. What a source of funds is, it's just a form asking you where you want the funds to purchase the land. And that is in compliance with the Proceeds of Crime Act, and it prevents us from actually getting in trouble because we have to make sure that our clients are not involved in money laundering or anything like that. And the third thing that we would ask you for is a copy of the registered deed from the vendor. The vendor, the person that you purchased the land from. So why we need this is that we actually take the registered copy and we take the deed number and we do a search. So we go to the land registry and do a title search on the deed to trace back to who owned the land before and to ascertain whether there were any gaps or inconsistencies. What else we look for in that title search is if there are any existing mortgages, because we don't want the bank coming to repossess the land at any point, right? And we also look to see if there are any judgments or lis pendens to make sure that the land is actually in good standing for you to purchase. So after that search is done, the attorney may prepare the agreement for sale. So what the agreement for sale is, it is just an agreement between you and the vendor allowing you to pay the 10% deposits on the land, but the agreement actually has some safeguards in it for you in case the vendor doesn't show good marketable title. So this agreement actually says that if the vendor doesn't show good marketable title, that you could get your deposit back. So you could be refunded the deposit, and even in this situation, he defrauded you. So if you had done the agreement in this situation, he would have actually had to return the deposit to you. And also, it actually could be rescinded as well if he doesn't give you certain documents. So the vendor is actually required to give you a WASA clearance certificate, some up-to-date WASA receipts, any kind of redemption statement on the land if there were any mortgages, a deed of release for those mortgages, some receipts saying that the attorney's fees were paid for the mortgages, and all of these things just to make sure that nothing happens to the land if you were to take possession of it. So if there were any existing mortgages, as I said, the bank can come and repossess it. Also the WASA charges, that is a first charge on the land. So if anything were to happen and they don't provide you with that, WASA could actually come and they could charge the land. while you're in possession of it. So we don't want that happening.